Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we found out that the gentleman who saved those people from the glass shattering on the Royal Caribbean ship falling to the ground, we know his name and he did get a reward. So we'll talk about that. We have Carnival Cruise Line fixing a very big issue on some of their older ships. I wish every cruise line would do this because it really does save a lot of hassles when you're traveling. We have a woman who jumped off a pier in Alaska into freezing cold water. And everyone's going, no big deal. Well, maybe it is a big deal. So as earlier this week, we reported on the glass shattering from the restaurant, falling down to the ground right on top of these lounge chairs where cruisers were relaxing on the pool deck. Luckily, Newton Kumar is the name of one of the waiters there. He noticed that the glass was cracking and ran in and got everybody out of that area. And literally 10-15 seconds later, the glass shattered and came crashing down where these people were standing. And I said, I really hope they give him, some really good rewards, because that could have been not just an injury, it could have been fatal. Like, that glass is heavy. It could cut, a vital part of your body and you could bleed out. Could have been really, really bad. Well, Royal Caribbean did give him an award for going above and beyond. It's their hero reward. And, that will definitely boost his career with Royal Caribbean. That will, quickly make him go possibly from waiter to maitre d', to do his own division in the dining hall, to a supervisor position, to a higher officer's position. That will definitely help. But I don't know if anything else came. I kind of wish that they would also just, here's our hero. He really did something that really impacted our guests, possibly saved lives or at least injury at the very least. And his quick action was the reason for it. It wasn't luck. It was his quick action. So I really wish that, Royal Caribbean and other cruise lines, not just Royal Caribbean, other cruise lines as well, would go, you know what? We're sending you and your family on holiday. Your next holiday, when you're off the ship, pick a cruise. It's our treat. That sort of thing. That would be a wonderful, wonderful expression of their gratitude for such dedicated employees. That's kind of my thought for that. Next, let's talk about Carnival. Again, upgrading some things in their older ships. Now, if you're a traveler, one of the worst things that happens to you on a cruise, especially if you're traveling with kids who have iPads, you want stuff to keep them amused, you get your cell phones to charge, maybe you have to work and you need your laptop. It's power stations. Not having any power stations anywhere around the room. Maybe 2 plugs in the whole place, no USB ports, that kind of thing. And especially on older ships. Well, Carnival is now starting to install lamps. And they have USB, USB-C, they have a power outlet. So they're covering the bases now right beside your bed, which makes it so much more convenient that you can plug in your devices, plug your phone in, set your alarm if you have to, if you have your shore excursion in the morning, etc. Because it is really rough to be in a cabin, especially a large, say you I got a mini suite. And you walk into some of these mini suites and they literally have 2 plugs about 25 feet away from the bed. And that's it. It's all they have in the room. And so, and you don't want people bringing long extension cords, etc. on your thing, or power bars. Well, you got to provide them with plugs. And Carnival's doing that. They're upgrading the stateroom, so good on Carnival for doing that. Next, let's talk about this lady who was filmed jumping into the, off the pier beside a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in Alaska in Juneau. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the new cruise itineraries to the new ships coming online, to changes to the older ships, to ships that are leaving the service, to cancellations, to price increases, to packages, you name it, we cover it here on the show. And I hope to keep you as best informed I can, so you're a little bit more prepared, a little bit more ready for your next cruise, and maybe make it a little simpler and a little less hectic. No one likes a hectic cruise. So I hope you'll join us. It doesn't cost a thing to hit that subscribe button, but it really does help the channel out. And again, I really do appreciate it. Sorry if I'm a little out of breath. I'm still recovering from the surgery, and it's hard to take in deep breaths still right now. So, but on to the show. We also have this lady, and she was filmed by a Royal Caribbean passenger. Now, what's a little suspicious about this is that she got the whole thing on camera, right? It wasn't the matter of, oh, I just happened to be filming the ship and this woman ran by me and jumped into the water. No, the woman had backed up on the pier and she focused her camera over on her and watched her run and jump into the water. So that's the first thing. I think this was completely staged. I really do. I think she knows who this woman is, or at least, at the very least, they talked. Hey, you might want to get your camera out. I'm going to jump in the water. At least, because there's no way that the whole thing would have been filmed the way it was if they didn't know the woman was going to jump, right? Because she's backed up, she starts to run, she jumps, and she gets in the water. So that's one thing. Next is the danger. A lot of people say, well, there's not really, she's kind of far from the ship. There's nothing around. It's not really dangerous, except one thing. Look at the coloring of the water. It is very murky there, sometimes around the cruise port in Alaska. It's not the Caribbean blue water or the blue waters of the Aegean Sea. It is murky, and you never know what's under that water. There could be driftwood, there could be logs, there could be leftover parts from the pier, there could be barbed, steel rods sticking still out of the ground there. There could be so many things. And you just jumped off and it could have just skewered you, causing major damage or even death. So was this a smart idea? No. Should anyone do this? No. It's not as harmless as it looks. Especially in kind of my opinion, I kind of think it was staged. Because like I said, they got the whole thing, right from the wind-up to the delivery, right? It's not a matter of, oh look, she just ran by me. So in the future, when you're staging something, try not to get the whole thing. Make it as if, oh look, this just happened. It's much more believable. I guess that's the cynic in me, but still a very dangerous thing to do. It seems harmless, but it could have ended in disaster. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think, yeah, not a very bright idea, or heck, it was just a harmless thing? How many times do we do harmless things until it ends in tragedy, right? That's the bad side. And then, of course, the cruise lines and the cruise port would get all the flack. Well, why was there a wood in the water? Why was there a metal pole in the water? Why did this person jump in the water? I don't get it. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.